everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you could come and visit with me. Snowbell is being a bit of a nuisance. She won't move, but I want to get this video done before I go to work, so just going to get it sorted. She's going to sit down. There we go. Right. So I've been making these little booklets and I thought you might like to see them. The first one I did, this is like my prototype, and it's just a bit of a heart-shaped piece of fabric. And I've put a butterfly on, and it's just very simple, quickly sewn down the centre with a few bits of paper that I've cut into a heart shape as well, and that gave me the starting point, and I'd sort of got a bit carried away. So I've made this little grungy one. As you can see, I've tied it up with string. Yeah, my little madam watching intently in case there's anything she can play with. So there we go. This one's a padded heart, and I've got some tea stained and very vintage paper inside. And you know I like a bit of grungy, so that is super cute for me. This little red and white check one is the one that I'm going to make with you, so that you can get the idea just how to do it in case you're wondering. So this little shabby chic one, just went with a square of fabric because that's what I had, and tied it with some binding, and I just looped that round the back and added some paper to make it a bit stronger. The pages are some paint dyed fabric that I've dyed myself, and I thought they'd be perfect for sort of practicing your stitches in, maybe a little sampler book. And I made a little just because book. And I wanted to use up a few scraps, so a bit of upholstery fabric for the cover, and I've made little pockets. I've just started adding bits and pieces. Obviously not done yet, I'm still playing with this one. And I've added a page so we can actually write on it. I'm trying to do a bit more of that, like mix like fabric and paper, so hoping that's going to turn out really nice. Right, so really easy to do, guys, and you can adapt them however you want. There's no way, you just do them whichever way you want to do them. So I'm going to show you how to make the little red and white check heart, and then you can take this idea and just run with it. Okay, so the first thing you need is a heart-shaped fabric. So I've got 2 pieces of the heart-shaped fabric. Obviously you can do whatever shape you like. I've got a piece of felt. You can use anything you've got, more fabric, a thicker fabric, a bit of wadding, whatever you've got that you can just sandwich in between the 2 pieces to just make it a bit more sturdy. You could use paper if you haven't got any more fabric or you haven't got any wadding. Paper would work. It would just make it a bit crinkly, which again could be really good. I might try that one. So I'm going to cut around this heart shape, and I want to make it smaller than what it is, obviously, so it doesn't stick out. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut around it, get rid of my pins, and then I'm going to take the heart, and I decide that folding it is probably going to be quicker, and I'm just going to cut probably, I don't know, 2 millimeters, something like that, just enough so that I can tuck it right inside the 2 pieces for the cover. Okay, so I'm going to put my pins away and grab 1/2. There we go, it's just about perfect. So you want that little bit of a gap, and that's the front. So I'm going to stitch all the way round. Then I decide, get my pins back out, I'm going to pin it down because I think it's going to move if I don't. So just going to quickly pin it. So just pin them down, guys. Or you could use glue. If you're using paper and fabric, add a bit of what's it called? Glue stick. That's the word I'm looking for. Add a bit of glue stick just to keep it in one place. Now for sewing around it, use contrasting, matching, whatever thread you want to use, just go for it. And what I did was I started at the bottom and did a running stitch around the heart. And I've left a tail because I'm going to use that in a minute. Got some scrap bits of paper. Just going to rip them in half because they're just the wrong size. And this should be perfect. Yep, there we go. So you just want enough. I'm going to grab a pencil and trim around the edge. This is about as far as measuring as I do. So don't worry if you don't want to measure. You don't have to. No snowbell. Shh. So I've cut round my pencil line inside by a good way. And then I'm going to pop it in. Yep, that fits absolutely fine. So to make it a bit easier, I'm going to take the very papery one out and sort of put it inside because I need the outside covers to be a bit stronger. And I've got the little pokey tool that Kathy from Kathy's Favourite Things sent me. And I'm going to just pre-jab my sewing holes because I think it's going to make my life a little bit easier. Doesn't really matter. You could do just 3 holes. You could. I just wanted quite a few because I thought it would just look quite pretty with the thread going all the way up. So find your sort of centre, and I'm going to just clip it together like I would if I was sewing in signatures with a paper clip. And I'm just going to do it on one side. And there's a reason for that. I'll show you in just a moment. So because we left this tail on, we don't need to rethread our needle or anything. So lazy, I know. I'm using all 6 strands of the cotton, embroidery thread, because just to make it strong. And to make sure I get in the right place coming up, I sort of guess how far away my hole is and then come up and through the hole. You can just sort of see your needle coming through. And I sort of think that's down is easy. Coming back up and finding it, slightly more tricky, but I found this was the best way. Just, wiggle it around. It'll be fine. She says, struggling. It is a bit fiddly, but it does look really sweet when it's finished. And I just carry on all the way up doing that. Now, obviously, I am not worried if it's not perfectly straight. It's going in a junk journal. And to me, that's absolutely fine. Right, so I'm all the way up with my dodgy stitching, and I'm going to tie it off at the top. And then I think, well, maybe I could just leave these dangling and tie like a charm or something on the end. So I then leave myself a bit of a tail in case I want to do that. You never know. Leave yourself options until you're finished. You can always cut it off at the end. Distangle your paper clip, and there you go. Your little booklet is ready to embellish. So we have to think about how we're going to close it. So I'm digging in my little pot of bits and pieces that, you've got one, you've all got one. You throw stuff on it that you've been using and you can't be bothered to get up and put away. So you have a little receptacle of some kind that you throw in all your little bits. This is mine. So I do look at this and I'm thinking, I'm going to use it. But I don't know why. I put it away again and grab out this little hair grip. Now I think that makes a really sweet little closure. It's got a little heart on the end of it, which I think is perfect. And I find little bows. Yep, flowers do not match, Carol. So I'm going back to this again because I don't want it all. It's too big. But I do want that little dangly bead. So I think I'm going to just take it off there. So grab my little pliers and separate that off. So as you know, when you're taking these little rings off, you just twist them, don't pull them apart, and then you can reuse them. So guess where I'm going to throw these little bits? Yep, you got it. Straight back in the little cup. So just going to tie this onto the end of my string. So I've used the same string to go all the way around the outside, up the middle, and now it's got a dangle on the end. Very economical. So that's my closure done. And I'm just going to decorate the front up. So I've decided to pop on a cluster. And I've got some ready-made clusters. So I grabbed this one, but it's slightly too big. But it does end up on the front of my little Just Because book. This one is pretty much perfect. And I'm going to just pop on the the bow on top because it's pretty. And I'm just going to glue it. So if you want to put something more fancy on the front, then obviously decorate your heart up before you sew it together. And then, you know, you won't see your stitches. So you just sort of plan it out. Not like I did. I just was like, yay, let's make this. So, but I'm sort of loving it. It's really pretty. Clip it together and there you go. So I think they turned out really sweet. I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you've enjoyed yourself, please like my video. If you have found it really useful, you can share it with your friends. They might like it. I think it is really cute little project. I hope you have a go. Snowball said she would do it, but she hasn't got any posable thumbs. But she can press the like button. I think she's had a nice time. So thank you so much, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.